Alright guys, I'm back making videos again, and this is my WWE Old School Monday Night Raw review. Just got done, and I gotta say, it was amazing. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Before we get to that review, got a little ticket unboxing here. Got these in the mail about a month or two ago. Got WWE SmackDown taping for next week, the SmackDown right after Survivor Series. WWE presents SmackDown live Jacksonville, Florida, Jacksonville Arena, Tuesday, November 23rd. And got section 103, row A, so front row risers. I'll be bringing my camera, so you'll see a video probably the next day, probably Wednesday. And Survivor Series card is actually looking really pretty decent so far. If I could rate the card, I would give it 8 out of 10. So let's talk about Survivor Series. Let's get to the review. Start off with the old WWF intro, and at the bottom said World Wrestling Federation. They crossed out the Federation and put Entertainment. So then they had Jerry the King Lawler and Michael Cole standing by the announce table, like how they back then did it, the intros. And then they had the old announce table, old WWF ring, pretty cool stage, and then the old WWF mat and a barricade. And then started off with not really match. Started off with I believe his name was Mean Gene Okerlund, that came out and brought out Cowboy Bob Orton, and he was talking about his son's match, Randy Orton, at Survivor Series against Wade Barrett for the WWE Championship. And then Wade Barrett came out, and after that The Miz came out, and then John Cena challenged The Miz to a match. So that was gonna be like basically you can say main event, but it actually wasn't. The maybe match of the night is supposed to be, so that's what happened there. And then the first match of the night was Dolph Ziggler defeated Mark Henry. It was actually pretty decent though for Dolph Ziggler and Mark Henry to you know, get into the ring together. I was kind of hoping that it would be Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan, but it wasn't. But that was pretty decent. I give that a maybe a 6 out of 10. But next match was Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel versus defeated the Hart Dynasty. Tyson Kidd turned on D.H. Smith after putting his hand out for a tag, and when Dave Hart Smith came over there to make the tag, he moved out of the way and kicked him right in the head, and that's how Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater got the win. So I'm guessing now that it's going to be Tyson Kidd and being the heel. Next match was Brooklyn Brawler came out and challenged anybody to match, and of course it was Ezekiel Jackson. Sorry, I can't talk right now. And that was actually a pretty decent match. It was like, what, 50 seconds? It's actually kind of funny, but Ezekiel Jackson defeated Brooklyn Brawler. That was okay. Next, we found out it was going to be R-Truth versus Wade Barrett, though, later on that night. And Wade Barrett said that he could prove himself that he does not need help with Survivor Series. He can beat Randy Orton without John Cena's help. Next match was John Cena defeated Alex Riley. It was supposed to be John Cena versus The Miz, but the general manager never announced that match. So it was actually Miz made a substitution between Alex Riley and John Cena. Alex Riley actually started off good against John Cena, but then ended up tapping out to STFU, or STS, whatever you want to call it, at the end. And then Randy Orton came out, and they were face to face, Randy Orton and John Cena. They just started brawling out, and then officials came out to break it up. So then they found out later on it would be Piper's Pit with Randy Orton and John Cena, and of course Roddy Piper. And I gotta tell you first, this one show sort of reminded me back then, because I have some old VHS tapes like this one right here. Because my dad used to watch wrestling, he still does, and that's how I got into it. Next match was Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov defeating the Usos, with the Usos had Jimmy Hart Smith on the side with them. But so Vladimir Kozlov and Santino Marella are going to be the new #1 contenders. And then Sheamus came out and knocked down Vladimir Kozlov, and then pushed down Santino Marella. Then John Morrison came out and gave him the kick to the head, and then after getting interviewed backstage with John Morrison, Sheamus came out and kicked him right in the head, and he fell on the ground. And Sheamus told him, "Tell John Morrison when he gets up that me and him have a match at Survivor Series." So I'm actually looking forward to the match. Probably one of my favorites. I'm actually looking forward to, besides John Cena special guest referee one with Wade Barrett and Randy Orton. Next is Kofi Kingston beat David Otunga, and that was actually a pretty good match because George the Animal Steele, so that's how it's pronounced his name, came out, and everybody was surprised, especially David Otunga was looking at him, and when he went over to the ring post and tore it apart, bit in and tore it apart like he did back then. And then believe then next was they had Dusty Rhodes back there, and they had Kelly and I believe Goldust and $1 Million Man all dancing. All of a sudden Ron Simmons comes out and he goes, "Damn!" It was actually pretty good to see Ron Simmons again. Next was Wade Barrett defeated R-Truth. Actually, was probably actually a really good match. I actually hoping R-Truth would actually beat Wade Barrett, and Wade Barrett would be surprised and maybe ask for John Cena for his help. But yeah, that's pretty much how that match went. And then next was Alberto Del Rio defeated Sergeant Slaughter. Alberto Del Rio challenged anybody, I believe, and Sergeant Slaughter came out and they lost in about 1 minute. Next was Mae Young defeated Layla Cole in an ODQ match. All the other face divas came out and took down Michelle McCool and then Layla, and then Mae Young pinned Layla to win. Next was Daniel Bryan defeated Jack Swagger. Actually, good old JR was actually the announcer here, and Michael Cole was complaining the whole time. But Daniel Bryan defeated Jack Swagger. It was actually a pretty good match, actually, you gotta admit. Daniel Bryan won. Next was Piper's Pit, I believe. Yeah, Piper's Pit was not really the main event, but ending to Old School Raw. So first, Roddy Piper came out, and then John Cena came out, and Roddy Piper told him to make the right decision. And then Wade Barrett came out and told John Cena to put on the next shirt, so he did. Then Randy Orton came out and said, if I want to, I would punch you in the head to John Cena. John Cena said, "What's stopping you?" And then turned around and went after Wade Barrett and was about to go for the RKO on Wade Barrett, but actually did the RKO on John Cena. Then was about to punt John Cena. John Cena moved out of the way and gave Randy Orton the attitude adjustment, and then Wade Barrett made John Cena raise his hand, but then John Cena gave him the attitude adjustment, and then took off the next shirt and just walked away. And then Roddy Piper raised his hand, John Cena, and that's pretty much how the show went. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. It was just amazing. It reminded me back from 1996, 1995, 94. A lot of good legends there, actually. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. And look out for it in Boston probably Wednesday or Thursday. My Nexus shirt is coming in, and I'll also be giving you guys a DVD update probably Wednesday. Depends if I get the John Cena Experience DVD since it comes out tomorrow. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Go check out WWE Punk Fan 19's account and Beatdowns 1995. Thanks for watching.